So I am today in my inner kitchen. It looks clean, right? Absolutely. So I'm going to be starting to scratch, no edit. I don't do that. And I'm going to be entertaining as much as possible. So I'm going to be showing here today is starting with the cutting board. I already got a few things out and washed. So let's get things started. One, let's eat a melon. I am thirsty. I wonder if you guys all hear me nice and really loud. I'm going to go turn myself down, turn myself up. There we go. So we're going to create a recipe that I make every single day. All right. You can go ahead and save your melon seeds, or you can go ahead and just put them down the drain, or you can put the melon uh, outside for the bees to eat. Oh, they love melons. This is a good little melon here. You can get at the farmer's market. So good. There's only one farmer's market in town that sells the greatest melons, and they're really good. Wednesdays, 3 to 7, downtown Colorado Springs. This is so quick. I gotta put this away. Eat some more later. So today we got several ingredients out, but we're going to cut those up a little bit last. All right. My first thing I want to do is today, so I want to grab my roots. See, nice and awesome roots here. Do we have better feed this way? Absolutely. Definitely help me out into getting more people on my YouTube channel by sharing and getting all that out of there. I'm not going to be very entertaining today. Why? Because the music ain't going. You know why? I need to save this video. Here we have potatoes. So I got all these from the farmer's market, and I need to see if I have any sweet potato left. I need to check all my drawers. Nope. I can hear myself step on the microphone. I'm using the microphone because I want to get the whole sound of everything, including the chopping. Including everything. Let's see if we can absolutely. Yes. I will be getting a 360 camera, which would be really great. You can't see my over here, so we'll get that. So I have all those in there. I still have to wash the carrots and peppers real quick. And, get that done. Getting the more vegetables out. So I'm just preparing and prepping. It's okay. No joins my lives too long time. What I'll do here is I'll just pull in the tips off. I want to be loving it. Have this whole internal view of all of this stuff around. Move that over here. Perfect. now we can see everything. Yay! Oh, and it goes up. Once I get that 360K. Awesome. I would love to get that tight. Let's put it there. See everything. You guys. Amazing view of all the stuff that I'm going to do. And I'm going to open this up and show you how I'm cutting my potatoes. Now, you can use a big knife. Just use one knife here. You can see here as I'm cutting up my potatoes nice and small and easy. There we go. So, that's too big. I'm going to cut up some small ones, so I'm going to grab a big potato as well. So I'll do this nice slice down to half, slice down to half, and slice down to half, slice down to half. And so that way I'll have these little potatoes here, and some big ones chunked in there. And let's see, I always go at an 8. I don't go make it cubes. I go halfway, 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 halfway. And I like my polygonal shapes because it helps it all to do this and the pan. And look, they don't clump together. That's the reason why I cut my potatoes like that. I don't do squares. No, choo choo choo, choo choo choo, choo choo. No squares. They just clump up in the pan. They just tear it apart with the starch. Absolutely. I'm going to move this over here so you guys can hear me over here. There we go. And you cut how you like to cut, but you know, you just cut. And we can also take all this, take it all down, and do a little crush. There we go. And what that does is it breaks the potato structure down and loosens it up. I'm going to move that off to the side. I want to get a big potato. Big enough. It wasn't huge. All right. I get my vegetable cleaner. These potatoes from the farmer's market, they really cake on that dirt. They don't pre-wash. We don't want pre-wash, do we? We want leaving the water on a low stream, barely any is coming out, because we don't want to waste water. Conserve it as much as possible. There we go. Now I got my potato. Look at that. So this is a soda, how I chopped up these little guys. Now I'm going to go at an angle. See, I love the reason being because, you know, you see how, I gotta watch that. Potato flipped off my thing. There's no balance. All right, now we're going to cut at an angle, cut at an angle. Cut at an angle, cut at an angle, cut at some angle, cut at some angle. Get a couple in there at the same time. Downward stroke if you want. Look at all those polygonal shapes, not clunking up at all. They don't clunk up because we went at a polygonal. There we go. Look at this amazing. Showing you a little closer view of that. Ta-da. These will never clunk up in your pan, so they will all cook individually. And they have so many crisp corners to crisp on. So many corners to. I lost that one, but that's okay. I got plenty. Don't get clumsy with your own show offs. Yeah, so so these will never clump up, and they'll just go around into them when stir frying it into the cast iron pan. They just literally will just never stick to each other. All right, and they won't stick to the pan either because they're not in squares. They're not. It refuses to stick to pans. It's going to turn. It's going to link into each other, and you're going to have so many edges all crispy. All right, let's move over here. We can do like 2 slices at once, 2 slices at once, 2 slices. Break it apart. Look for some. There we go. That is how I cut my potatoes because that one's like, there we go. That way they don't stick to the pan and they just mingle in there really well, frying up within themselves. Absolutely. All right, those are done, but that's not enough. Root. Just to get to the next root, grab a carrot. I have not washed this one yet, so let's get to that. That's right here. That's the carrot. Love this stuff. I just make sure I take off any of those type of edges. Look into it, chop that down because that is healthy. And make sure we put that in there with that. So here you can just cut faster, slice, cut faster, slice. I'll go down the middle. Go down the middle. You can do another one here, and then nice little angle. Turn that carrot, and then nice little circle ones. There we go. Hold it to me. So there we go. Carrot, caught it. So let's go ahead and mingle that in. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and grab some onion. These little ones. There's a bunch of little onion here. I always take off the tips. Slice down the middle. Now these little onions are really great. I'm going to do a nice little slice. Stick it in there. Slice on that edge. That was already some there. All right. Taking off the skin. Slice. I don't like my onions to feel like they're getting soggy, so I'll cut them just like I want them to. So that way they do a good fry with each other. I know I'm working with little tiny onions. This is what I got this time. This is great. So we prepare the roots first. It's for the most reasons because that's the stuff we have to cook first. You can fast forward until we get to the next step, but you're gonna miss out on a lot of cutting technique. I just do things that these will break apart in the pan, so I don't need to do anything. If they start softening up, they'll come apart the pan. Here we have this is I don't like that, so I'm gonna show that down a little bit. There we go. I don't like it textured like that. See, onions have to be cut just right, or they're going to have a certain texture when you eat them, and that just makes it taste awful. I don't know why. It has to be right cut. Here we have people who dice them like really tiny. That's only good for stew, and because it will mingle in there So I left them kind of, kind of thick, kind of thin. Whatever. There's more onions in here. I think, yeah. But I'm going to put those in at a later time. So I want to cook onion. I'm going to glaze onion in there with potato, and then once I get the vegetables in, it's going to glaze in just really well. Just the same with the peppers. We're going to cook in with the potato. Then I'm going to have peppers that will cook in with the vegetables at that time. So I'm going to cut that off. Just don't wear contacts when you do these. And we'll just slice down that middle because everything's going to get chopped down anyway. If you want to slice down that middle again, there's a reason for that because I just want all that off my plate. It's going on the counter. Let's wash that. Now, when you wash it, you can just pull it right out at the same time, or you just scrape it like I just did, and then get those seeds out of there. No seeds. No, none of those pepper seeds. You don't eat bell pepper seeds while you're trying to jalapenos. Here we have these little slices and dices and stuff like that. I'm going to do another slice down that middle there. All right, and then fold that in. Let's see. I'm going to get that down nice and tiny. There we go. I'm going to mix that in there. And I'm going to have serrano. Slice down the middle. Because I want these to be in little bits. I don't want to trouble myself. Slice down the middle. Because when you do that, it's just easy to take out that vein and those seeds. So if you have IBS or flatulent issues, don't eat any of this part of it, and then you'll be able, and just you just want the pepper. You just want the pepper. And you can also rinse that too if you have IBS or anything. Just make sure you do a full rinse after you take the seeds and the veins out. All right, and then just add a little bit. If you want it. It's so awesome to have a sensor on your kitchen sink. And I'm going to chop also this down into little bits, little diagonals, and put some long strands in there too. You can also, if you want, just have some long strand ones here, just like two. And what that's going to do is it's going to fry in there with that. Exactly. But I want this one specifically to be spicy today. I'm feeling it. Yes. So not so spicy. One serrano and one other of these peppers. Maybe just one or two. But if you want a little bit more spicy, add more pepper, not seed. Try not to. Don't need the seed. The seed is basically not the nutrition part of the bloody pepper. Guess what you're trying to do? You're just like you're like trying to add all that heat, but not enough pepper. And I'm like, dude, you need the pepper. You know what I'm saying? So slice down that middle. Yeah, see what I mean? It just takes that out. Just showing you guys what I'm doing here. Just takes that out nice and easy. See? No struggle. Don't need to grab a damn spoon and waste another dish. I don't need to spoon anything right now. So I'm gonna do some more long stranded ones because. And I also, this one I'm going to dice, more long strandy ones because I want the peppers nice and thin slices. You want these thin because you want them to bend. You want them to mingle in there as they grill inside that cast iron. You can stand it even more if you wanted to. That's going to literally make a huge difference. Oh, trust me, the more it mingles all around the pan, the better. You know what I'm saying? Just mill it out. Just do whatever you want. Break it up a little bit. This one I'm going to dice up. Dice it. Really dice it. I would really mince these guys and go like this and just don't hit your finger. And dicing these guys are actually very beneficial as well because now you're really acting. Here we have another pepper. I intended to both. Oh yeah. Now you could also fry all these peppers in here. once. Or you can also put a giant one in there to fry in there with it, and have one giant fried pepper in there with it, you know, have all, but you have to make sure you do tiny ones, because the tiny cuts, because that's what mingles into the potato you don't need your junk on your cutting board. Just let it go on the table. Yeah, it gets dirty anyways. Here we have, I'm going to slice these ones because I didn't like them. Exactly, I want to try some of these. Because this would be really my first time having this pepper, really. And I want to see what it's like. I think that's nice as well. So I'll pull a couple of those out in here. Oh, and like I said, see how easy it comes down? We just slice down that middle like that. And just that vein. Just come right out of there. Here we have, yeah, I'm just going to slice that down. I already have a bunch of slices. Thin slice. The reason why it's always good to thin slice it all together. And then the best way to stay off entertainment while you're working all this is to make sure that you find that you just constantly do something. You know, just finely mince things. Take your time building your recipe, pulling things apart. This is parsley here. We're gonna get those leaves right off of there. Now, all right. So I'm gonna actually get some fresh that. Pardon me. I had a hiccup over there. Here I have some fresh basil. I'm going to chop all that in there. And I want that to mingle with that potato, adding flavor to the potato. Also, right here is a fresh carrot. That's right, this is carrot leaves. Let's chop that up. We want this to also fry into. Let's just make that's an herb. I've been drying that in the fridge. Right. Here we have some anise. I'm going to slice a few off here and slice a few off here. Always double check in here though. Oh, sorry, not a video. Always double check in here though, because you'll find dirt in there right here at the edge here. So, and people are chopping them up, and I'm like, ew, gross. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to open that up and chop around. Don't, when you get to that in area, just don't. You know, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'll open it up like this and rinse it through it. Yep. Yeah. So for my leeks, I'll chop it from root to here, where it lines up right here, right? And I'll chop off the tips because I don't like those little tips. Now I'm gonna go ahead and chop down those tips to here. And then once I get here, I'll break it open and just literally rinse out all that dirt that's inside those leeks. It's in every leek, every single leek. I can't do that. I'm not, trying to survive. And you can see here, it doesn't really matter if you had to break it open anyways, because it breaks it open really easy, right? When you do that, it's so easy to break open a leek like that. And then, because after you chopped it down this way, it's amazing how you can just fan it open. And now you can, now you can like really get some long leek strands like this as well. Exactly. This is going to go into over here with the rest of these. Yep. Oops. I already got some little circular ones here. So I'm going to go like that. I'm going to save that leek right there. I don't need all that. Oh. Now, I don't think this is enough food, so I'm going to chop up the carrot real quick. Now, if you had little tiny circular carrots, you can use those. You can do the same thing. You just thin slice it this way and then go like that, and you have tiny diced carrots. Remember, don't just chop downwards. You want to angle them and do different chefs, because what this does, it allows it all to turn freely in the pan, and it's going to co-mingle with each other in there and mix and gain so much flavor. When I cook this in the pan, and you're paying attention to it, right? It will literally mingle the flavors. I don't have to. Grab a beet. Well, I'm trying. I suck. I did not buy beets last month. Did I buy beets? Well, if you have a beet, I'll do that to a beet. I hate my beets. I go, oh, I thought I bought beets. Oh, wait. I did. I forgot I was using that drawer too now. Oh, my God. Woo! Man, I forgot it was in that drawer. All right. So here we have beet greens. I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to clean my beet real quick. And I clean it with this guy. Help me fund this. Subscribe. I want to get me the Titan 3D camera and a really nice kitchen. I'm going to be, and I'm going to be doing is my sound baths, not in the kitchen. Basically helping people to meditate. We're going to be doing Qigong. So here is a nice, good red beet. Look at that guy, really nice. So here I already had mingled up all of my carrots and my potatoes and a mixture of peppers and different chopped differently. So let's take off that tail. We're going to take that off. We're going to move it to the side, hang that down. See, this is a very nutritional part of the beet because there's a lot of nutrition here in the sprouting of the leaves. And we're going to chop. When you go to the store and they got beets and they chop off the lettuce and they chop off the greens, you're missing the nutritional part of the value of the beet, really. So I'm not going to eat this whole beet. I'm going to chop it here. And I'll slice down the middle, right? Oh, look at that. Been a while since I had a candy cane beet. So I'm going to chop it here. So I'm going to go diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. Chop it down. We're going to do a small beet. Beets don't matter. It just takes a while. I know. I don't want to cut. It takes so long cutting. Oh, well, it doesn't. You just want to. The reason why I chop one at a time is for precision, you know, and not to cut myself and struggle. It's like, you know, I'd rather do a bunch of cuts and then instead of one grueling cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to get to things through it. See how easy that was, and add a little bit of candy cane in there. All right. So these are ready. These are all ready. So let's go ahead and come to the stove. This is my bowl. This is my pot. And I'm going to be using avocado. Yeah, that much. Now you can do little, but don't. You're just going to fry your, if you do too little of oil, you're just going to fry it. If you do too much of the oil, you're just going to soak it. So don't do too much of oil. All I did was add pretty much, not even a quarter cup. You see that? All I did was make sure it's just enough to soak it. Okay. Just to soak that. So now that I soaked the pan, you can really see just how much oil is really in there. And that's what I'm going to start with. All right. Do not touch handles with dirty hands. This is the handle that touched it. And as soon as I get these in, I'm going to start making some tea. and then hydrate with that. And I'm going to come on over here. Just let all that mix pour in. There we go. Right. Washing my hands. Now that's in there. This has to be at 4. Put it on this board. Not 5, not mid. 5 is mid. 4. While using a cast iron. Start off there. It'll prevent burning. 5 will burn. 6 will, I don't know, create charcoal too quickly. I'm going to start off by softening your roots, by building up the heat, not shocking the potatoes, not shocking the beets. Oh, that's smelling good already. I can smell the pepper in there. This is going to be spicy. That was a good balance. All right. Grab your favorite tool. I use wood. It with a long handle. You do not ever fry with a short handle. You want to be above the grease range. All right. I got all that in there. That is a lot of good food right there. All right. So this is going to take about 10 minutes of time. So we have plenty of time for that. So I'm going to start adding in my salt. So here I have red sea salt. And what I do with that is, you can see how caked up, that's caked up in there. Well, I have a NutriBullet, and what I do with that is I'll NutriBullet my salt, and you're going to see how that comes down like fine powder. And the finer the powder, the salt, the more it saturates every part of the polygonal shapes that I created. And the thing is, though, you think I'm putting on a lot, but not really. These are like finely granulated. You can pull it down to the smallest proportions we can probably do. So that means it's less salt, but it mingles more. It mingles more than the big cubes. It's great to have salt and salt the way it is, because it cakes up, and you see it. Yeah. So, how much salt did I put on there? Good enough. But we do it on the potatoes and the roots. All right. When I get the other stuff in here, I will not be putting any more. Now, this looks great. Now it's time for some pepper, because we also need our dried fruit. Just gonna let that mingle in there. Now, I have a bunch of peppers in here, so don't use too much of this. But when you have no peppers in here, you can use more of this. Just letting you know. It would come out so burny in the mouth and all that. You don't want that. Not that. No, it's the wrong burning. Not the good burning. It's not the, there we go. Just got to make sure we still see some pepper on your veggies in here. And I'm just mixing it around right now. And the reason being, I'm mixing in the salt, I'm mixing it into the oil, I'm mixing the pepper into the oil. Make sure it gets in there really good. I'm also making sure I got pepper on every speck of pepper has to at least be on every single one of those guys. have to aim your pepper. Don't let it be clumped up too much on one pepper, on one root. You know what I'm saying? There we go. That's so much better. All right. So you have to pay attention to what you're putting on there. Now, this is the time where you can add a bit more other spices, right? So we could probably do a little bit of powder. Do a little bit of powder in here. Not too much. Not too much. You know, because we're not trying to saturate. And this is where you can also add some nutritional yeast. You know, just to give it like a little, if you want nutritional yeast, just a little bit, not too much. You know, we're not trying to saturate this into some lump of nutritional yeast. Now I can definitely smell it. You know, I used to put a ton of nutritional yeast when I was cooking. It's like all in my lesson. Just a little bit, you know. And let's go into my other parts here. Let's find out what we got. We got onion flakes, we got more of this, we got more of that. We also have some like spice blends. If you ever got spice blends, I mean, you can put whatever you want at this crucial time. That way it mingles in with all of these roots while they fry. And you can take your time doing this because this is going to take its time cooking. Like I said, about 5 to 10 minutes. 5 minutes is the thing, but you know, you just have, I already got a lot of stuff in here. And this side mix has cumin in it. And cumin makes things so good. So I just want to do a little bit, not too much because I have a lot of peppers in there. Like I said, the more peppers you put in there, the less spice you use. Because it's just going to, you know what I'm saying? Because guess what spice is? You know? Like I said, you know, if I put garlic clove in here, which I have, you know, and you do less garlic spice. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So now we got all this in here and mixed with the flavors that I want. You can also put sauce in here if you want to use sauce, but don't put sauce in right now. You want that to cook in just oil on 4, slow cook in this oven, and you know, and let it go. Let's head back over to the cutting board while that we'll go over there and I'll stir every few moments. Now it's time to get our fresh vegetables. All right. I already got a few things going. First thing we want to do, if you have broccoli, is the first thing you do is cut the broccoli because that triggers the chemicals that are in there that produces cancer-free properties to help do that. And you want to like cut those up because you have to let it, like after it gets cut, it starts to do all of that. And that is researched science, okay? All right. And we have these stems too. Yeah, stem is great. Up to here, throw that one away. So with the stems, I'll do thin slices of stems because I don't want to. If you do like, it's like celery. You know, you have to. You know, it's like celery, so you have to slice it. Yeah, and I gotta cut all those up. So we're gonna have a lot of broccoli into this one. I don't like that. Yeah, I shouldn't sell that to you. Yeah. These will still be good for tomorrow's. I don't need all that. All right. Now we'll go ahead and I'm going to slice up some peppers. That's good. And we're going to slice up some of these peppers. That's good. Still good. I prefer to keep these ends and chop these ends first. So I'm gonna probably use that much. Save the rest for tomorrow. This is all I'll need. That's all you need. And I was breathing. I need to stir. These don't matter. It depends on what you want. If you want to do moons, you can do moons. Remember, the bigger they are, the longer it takes to cook. And you can also do sliced bananas. See here, the bananas. Or you can do, hold that down, because it'll just fall with it. And you can also do, like I said, don't do cubes, but kind of imitate cubes, you know, and then make them smaller. And that will just mean go in there as it cooks. While these will take too long and take too much space to cook. Especially if you're using a lot of it. It depends on what type of stir fry you're making. And since I want to make sure that nothing over exemplifies the potato too much, especially with these guys, because there we go. They're better, nice and chopped, mingling in there, nice and easy, and softening up. Because we're not cooking these for very long, anyways. None of this is going to get cooked long, you know. Like I said, you know, this is all we need. All right. We'll put that back. Then you can keep them in the long strains. You can make them thinner. You can use a peeler to make them skinny and just do skinny ones in there. You just chop it how you like the texture. And like I said, you know, these don't matter. They are going to be soft. They are just going to get steamed inside there. This right here is my beet greens. We're going to throw those in there. And you're like, why are you putting green leaves in the stir fry? Well, I'm going to tell you something. Why would you put green leaves to make a broth in a stew? Add flavor. And stir. All right. See me. It's getting there. Once I am done cutting these up, all right, these are going to be ready to go in there. I have already put a lot of stuff in there. Let's see what else I have. I don't need those. I already have some money. So this right here, of course, some Brussels sprouts. And I will always cut pretty much right here and knock that shit off. I want to let you know about Brussels sprouts. I do not like the outside edge because a lot of times you come in here and you're like, oh, look at that nasty shit that's in there. So we have to wash all that BS off. And same thing here. Boom, knock that crap off there. That's just gross. It depends on who sells and all that for this. So I'll just like literally. See, all over that. It's just a bunch of freaking bug eggs is what they are. And you're like, oh, gross. They're a bug. Oh, get over yourself. But what you want to do is just, if it depends, this one right here is basically, it's unsalvageable for one. You just go deep in there and they can't bore in that far. That one was deep. That's all I got out of that. This one doesn't. Every single one is different. Don't just think, oh my gosh, yeah, gross, so many buttons, you know. See, this one's that big. Depends where you get it. This right here is crap with some freaking sprouts, and they're usually like that or in groceries. But the more organic they are, you're going to find them in there. So what I'm going to do here is I always cut down my Brussels sprouts nice and small. It allows me to make sure that all my leaves are great, good enough for cooking and processing. And I don't want to cut one more up. So and it allows me to see the inside of the Brussels sprouts and see the inside of the Brussels sprouts. Always check your last underleaf. Seriously. Gotta eat your Brussels, but man, they're supposed to be above water, but what happens during storms is in storms, that water will get into the leaves as they're growing. And what are you going to do about it? All that gunk from because these things grow in things like rice, like rice paddies, in fucking huge swampy areas. And they come out of the thing, but when storms happen, they just get into these damn things. And then bugs would like to thrive into it after that because that's what happens. That's how they get in there. But what you do is you just clean them out and make sure you are happy. See, you got that little edge there. I'm going to cut that off because I don't eat that shit. All right, I eat the nutritional value of the leaves. And I'm going to cut that open up, make sure, I'm satisfied. I'm good. I need to stir. I spent too much time on that. Perfect. The potatoes have fried. Fried. All right. So, we have enough veggies. Let's come over here to our food. There we go. And as you can see, what I got here is really good fried potatoes. This was on 4 the whole time. That's what I'm showing you what 4 does in a cast iron, in a cast iron that's been buffed. So here now, let's add our vegetables. We just put it on top. Let you know that my potatoes cooked for a while because I'm chatting, so you can pay attention to it a lot more when you're not like on video talking about it. And you can like make sure it doesn't get so brown. It depends on how you want it. You can see there's less oil. Now I let that go. I'm going to steam that up. Now you want to check that there's no oil on there because the potatoes did soak up what I did have. Now this is where you can add anything else that you want, a different type of oil, a butter, your type of butter. A little bit goes a long way. It will go in there. It will soften up the food. Now, cooking greens too long will deplete its nutritional value, but you also want to soften it up enough to where it makes it more and easier digestible for your gut. And this is how I cook my potatoes to make it adjustable. You can see that the oil is pretty much soaked in. What is avocado oil? It is avocado. It's healthy for you. It absolutely is. Now, see here. Is it from the fruit? That's what we want. Now, what I'm going to do is turn this down to 2 or low. I'm going to put this on low now. Now that I stirred it in, you can see that all the vegetables are softening up and all that, stirring in there really nice. All that fresh stuff. I'm going to put that away. And I'm going to put this over that and just let it steam. Now, normally I'll start, while this steams on low, make sure you always turn it on low once the vegetables have been stirred in after a few minutes. Put this on to let it brew with and mingle with all the flavors and salts and peppers and peppers and other flavors. And we will stir it in a second again. And like literally a second, like every 15 seconds, try to lift and stir. I'll go ahead and do my kitchen later. Now you can also do cabbage, green or purple. You can also put other types of fruits, even daikon radish, and radishes can go in here. You can do any type of leafy greens that you want to tart it up with, or get a little, that way going. These are done. This is done. All right, gotta make sure it drips. Every time I lift this lid up, I do not leave this lid. I keep it here the whole time, using this as a shield. This is my shield, and it also has a lot of humidity up in here. There's a lot of the water, the nutrients, the broth. That way you don't ever take it and drip it everywhere. Don't put and using one of these guys is beneficial, and have it like that. Now I put my hand in the glove. Let's go ahead and take it out. Now, I have been doing this for a very long time, and for some reason, it just comes out good no matter how I prep it. Oh, wanted you to see this. Let's move that over. There we go. If you want to get all this, make sure this right here, that is tasty stuff. So just break it off. You want it all. That is flavor, trust me. Oh, it's always good to use a buffed can, polished pan, polished cast iron. That way, you know. And then that is a lickable spatula. Now that all that's in there. This is where you taste it. Just right. Oh boy. Pour some water in there and do a rinse. There you go. Stirred root with vegetables. Nice, yes, it tastes good. It's already garnished. Those are beet greens with a lot of roots. Oh, good. There you have it. This right here will take about 15-20 minutes to eat. You should take 15 to 20 minutes to 30 minutes to eat this. Take your time with it. Do not rush with this meal. Already in how long? 50 minutes? That's because I took my time. If you spend an hour on breakfast and eating it, you took an hour out of your day doing something nutritious for your body. You are doing self-therapy, nutritional-wise, for your body. And you're learning to do things that takes time and patience, because you'll come out with this beautiful bowl of food that tastes really well. And the only spice I got in there is salt, pepper, a little bit of nutritional yeast, and a little bit of garlic powder, because I didn't put no garlic cloves in there. And I just mingled it all up in here. Check the video from the very beginning if you just popped in, and in 2 days, and then try this out yourself. This looks absolutely delicious, doesn't it? It tastes so good. It tastes really good. As you can see, I never added my greens early on. I took my time. My greens were lightly cooked. My squash was lightly cooked. And that's why I said to make sure that all pieces are where they'll cook right at the same time with all other things. And you chop everything up on how you want it cooked, how you want it taste, how you want it textured. And then when you take each bite, you will be satisfied. I hope you guys will enjoy a good breakfast, and that will last you the entire day. Fulfilled, full of energy, and you feel full of life. Stop eating meats. Stop eating breads for breakfast. You will feel less chronic fatigued, like you're being broken down or you're burnt out. I've been burnt out for several decades until I had to figure things out. It's because I wasn't eating right. And I wasn't eating enough of the vegetables in one sitting. Take your time with this. And if you don't fulfill it, pack it, take it with you, or eat it the next day. But eat as much as you can. And then within like half an hour of time of eating, you have to spend a half an hour eating. And then when you're done, go out about your day, which means you need to get up early enough to do this. That way you can like spend 10 hours at work and you know you didn't get your break and you're crashing because you didn't do this. didn't straighten up, you didn't breathe through it, you didn't relax your muscles through your entire day, and you did not eat good food. All right? I want to thank you guys for enduring 1 hour with me and watching my process, because every video I make is about the process of self-healing and nutrition. So thank you for coming in and viewing and seeing how I work out my recipe without an edit. And put music in the background on your own. I should have said that in the beginning. And thank you, and have a good day, and make good recipes. Eat hearty, good meals in one setting. Take your time with it. Do not stuff. Do not eat fast. And chew till it dissipates in your mouth before you swallow. Okay? And you will feel better. Have a pleasant day. Namaste. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your journey.